Namo Buddhaya and a very warm welcome, dear Dhamma friends, to our Sunday Dhamma sharing session again under our Dhamma Dana lecture series. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Brother Eric and I'll be your host for today. We are privileged to have with us Bhante M. Piyarathana Thera from Sri Lanka as our speaker for today. Let us now bring Bhante M. Piyarathana Thera online. So, Kihoto, come
May
page.
the triple gem bless all of you. Yeah.
Okay. Let me do a short introduction on Bhante M. Piyarathana Thera. Bhante M. Piyarathana is currently working as a senior lecturer in English and also the head of Department of Languages at the Bhikkhu University of Sri Lanka. He has completed his BA degree with English, Pali and Sanskrit at the University of Sri Jayawardenapura, Sri Lanka. He has obtained his Master of Art and Master of Philosophy degree in Linguistics in English medium from the University of Kelaniya, Sri Lanka. He has written many research articles to many local and foreign academic journals, magazines, and done research presentation in national and international conferences. He has presented his research findings in countries like Australia, Philippines, India, Vietnam, and Singapore, while holding many responsibilities in the university at present. In last year also, Bhante M. Piyarathana Thera delivered a series of Dhamma talk at the Buddhist Mahavihara, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Okay, today's topic is entitled Viriya Paramita, the cultivation of energy or effort. With that, we welcome Bhante Piyarathana Thera to deliver today Dhamma sermon. Bhante.
Thank you very much for your introduction. May the triple gem bless all of you. Namo tassa bhagavatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Dear Dhamma friends, I am going to deliver my Dhamma talk on the given topic in the series of sermons based on the 10 perfections. The perfection for me is Viriya Parami, which is translated into English as the perfection on energy or effort. Dear Dhamma friends, I have several questions to raise all the online listeners, even though you are not in my presence. Do you practice any of those 10 perfections? Why do we practice perfections? What can we gain by cultivating perfections? Do you practice Viriya or effort? How can we practice this particular perfection on Viriya? These kinds of questions are to be answered through my Dhamma talk. We will try to find answers to all the questions through the Dhamma talk and understand well about the perfection on Viriya, and we will see how we can put this perfection into practice and get the success through this perfection throughout our lives. As Buddhist, if you don't practice perfections, your life is unsuccessful. You cannot get the result of your life. You cannot achieve your aims. You cannot lead a better life in the society if you don't cultivate perfections. If I talk simply, for listening to this Dhamma talk, you need to cultivate perfections. Dear Dhamma friends, did you determine or intend to listen to this Dhamma talk until the end? The determination, which is known as Adhitthana perfection, is one of the perfections. To accomplish your intention, you have to make an effort. There you have to cultivate the perfection on energy. Without making an effort, you cannot listen to this Dhamma talk and get the benefit from this. You have to stay for about half an hour with effort and understand about the facts on Viriya Parami, and you have to understand how to put those facts into practice. It is very clear now. You are going to listen to a Dhamma talk. Listening to a Dhamma talk is a good deed because it helps you to improve your qualities in life. If you make an effort for such a good deed, it becomes a perfection. You can get the success of your life by putting the facts discussed in this Dhamma talk into practice. If we consider the highest point in perfections as the ultimate achievement in character development, you can become Samma Sambuddha, a fully enlightened one, Pacceka Buddha, who attains enlightenment on his own, but he is not able to teach the path of practice to others. Or else, you can become an Arahant. Every Bodhisattva practices the 10 perfections to gain the supreme enlightenment, Samma Sambuddhahood. There are 4 supreme efforts, Sammapadhana, of a Bodhisattva. The effort to avoid the akusala dhammas which have not yet arisen. As an ordinary person, it is necessary for us also to make an effort to avoid the akusala dhammas, which is known as demerits, and we have to try our level best to not to let akusala dhammas or demerits to rise. A bodhisattva practices this as a supreme effort. The second effort is the effort to overcome the akusala dhammas which have arisen. So, as people who practice or follow the path of the Buddha, we also have to try to overcome the akusala dhammas or demerits which have arisen. We have done a lot of demerits, mindfully or not. We have done a lot of demerits. That is why we continue in life in this manner. So we have to try to, or we have to make an effort to overcome the demerits which have arisen. The third supreme effort of a bodhisattva is the effort to develop kusala dhammas which have not yet arisen. Dear Dhamma friends, we also have to make an effort to develop merits or kusala dhammas for the benefit of our lives. We haven't done them yet. We have to plan and try to develop various kinds of merits. The fourth of the supreme efforts of a bodhisattva, the effort to maintain kusala dhammas which have arisen, not to let them decline, to further develop them, to cause them to increase and reach completion. We have to be mindful and try to cultivate merits for the benefit of life in this world and beyond. According to Charyapitaka commentary, the 10 perfections are cultivated with the compassion, guided by reason, uninfluenced by selfish motives. So, dear Dhamma friends, the actions of a bodhisattva are absolutely selfless, with compassion towards all beings. Dear Dhamma friends, what is the perfection on energy or Viriya Parami? Here, Viriya doesn't mean the physical strength. Though the physical strength is an asset for us, but the mental strength of character, which is more superior than the physical strength. We need to have the physical strength to start all the actions of our day-to-day lives. If we have the physical strength together with the perfect mental strength, we can achieve our targets. The most important thing here is to have the necessary mental strength, which will help for the correct leading of our actions. So we need to be mindful in all the activities that we do in our day-to-day lives. Viriya has been defined as the persistent effort to work for the welfare of oneself and others, both in thought and deed. Dear Dhamma friends, it is very clear that we have to have the persistent effort and we need to cultivate good thoughts and deeds to get the benefit of our activities for our own benefit and for the benefit of others. Bodhisattva, having firmly established in Viriya, makes it one of his prominent characteristics. Without effort, a Bodhisattva, you know the meaning, the Buddha to be, cannot become a fully enlightened one. You can recall your memory. If he gave up his effort in becoming an enlightened one, the entire world would not benefit like this. Because of his enlightenment, we have improved many qualities of our lives. That is why the effort of a Bodhisattva is very significant for all of us. Dear Dhamma friends, the perfection on energy is the effort for kusala or meritorious deeds on the one hand. Dear Dhamma friends, what are the kinds of the perfection on effort or Viriya? I think by now all the online listeners of this series of Dhamma talks are aware about Parami, Upaparami and Paramatta Parami. Anyway, I am going to discuss in brief the kinds of the perfections on energy or Viriya related to Parami, Upaparami and Paramatta Parami based on this particular perfection Viriya. Viriya Parami. If you make a constant effort for the success of life and enlightenment, it is Viriya Parami. If you make a constant effort for the success of life and enlightenment without considering even the parts of your body until the achievement, it is Viriya Upaparami. We can understand this through the story of Venerable Chakkupala. Having obtained the objects of meditation, he spent time sleeplessly practicing them with the other 60 monks during a rainy retreat. After 1 month, he had to face a disease with his eyes. But he didn't give up. He meditated with constant effort, and finally he became an arahant after the 3 months, even though he became blind. His arahantship was the result of his constant effort without considering even the body parts to achieve the target. Through this story of Venerable Chakkupala, we can understand we have to make an effort to achieve our life goals, sometimes without considering our parts of body. Then we will understand Viriya Paramatta Parami. If you make a constant effort for the success of life and enlightenment without considering even the life, it is Viriya Paramatta Parami. You can understand this through the character of Venerable Pitimalla. Venerable Pitimalla, having come from India to Mahavihara in Sri Lanka, practiced meditation while walking up and down in a monastery. When his legs ached, he walked about on his knees. One day, a hunter, mistaking him for an animal, shot at him. The dart pierced him, but he filled the wound with herbs, lay down on a slab of rock, developed insight, and attained arahantship. To the monks who gathered round him, he expressed his great joy at having succeeded in his quest, and they said that had the Buddha been alive, he would have struck his head. The story of Venerable Pitimalla is an example of a monk who made a great effort, even with great discomfort, for achieving the target of life. This story reveals us the Paramatta Parami on Viriya or effort. In the Noble Eightfold Path also, Viriya can be seen as Samma Vayama, which is helpful to suppress the arising of evil states, to eradicate those which have arisen, to stimulate good states, and to perfect those good which have arisen. We can see that Viriya serves as one of the 7 factors of enlightenment. Viriya of a Bodhisattva can be seen from many Jataka tales like Vannupata Jataka and Mahajanaka Jataka. I hope our Dhamma friends are aware of the Jataka tales. Jataka tales are the former birth stories of a Bodhisattva. Most of the time when he was leading lives as lay people, cultivating those perfections. So, the Viriya of a Bodhisattva is clearly depicted in the Mahajanaka Jataka tale. The Bodhisattva had to stay in the open sea for 7 days due to the breaking of the ship or shipwrecking. He struggled on without giving up hope until he was finally rescued. He views failures as steps to success. Dear Dhamma friends, it is clear that a Bodhisattva works for others endlessly and untiringly, expecting no reward. He was ever ready to serve others to the best of his ability. Dear Dhamma friends, you can see many people in the society expect reward, admiration for the work that they have done. Even in my life, I have experienced many who expected praise and honor for the work they have done. And even some of them got upset since I didn't praise them or I didn't honor them. On several occasions, I have advised to several persons not to expect any reward or praise for the work that you did. For example, as an academic, I teach many Buddhist monks and many lay people. Having succeeded in their lives, they come and praise us. But my intention is that even though they praised us, they rewarded us, I am not suitable for that reward. Because as a teacher, that is my duty. As an academic, that is my duty. I did my work in a manner that they succeed in their lives. Dear Dhamma friends, if you have to do something, maybe at your workplace, maybe in social or other activity, you have to work with effort and do that particular activity to your level best, expecting no reward. then you can be happy finally. You did your level best and help others to overcome their difficulties and get the success in their lives. In Vanupata Jataka also, the Bodhisattva was the leader of a caravan of 500 carts. One night, while crossing a desert of 60 leagues, in the last stage of a journey, the pilot, it means the guide or the chief carter, fell asleep and the oxen turned round. All the food and water was over, but the Bodhisattva made the men dig a well. After digging 60 cubits down, they came upon a rock. The men were filled with despair, but the Bodhisattva had the rock broken through by a serving lad who still showed courage and obtained water. The story was revealed. The story was related about a young man of Savatthi who entered the order and practiced meditation, but he was unable to attain insight. He was filled with despair, and his companions took him to the Buddha. He is identified with the serving lad of the story. Dear Dhamma friends, whatever the situation that you face in your life, you have to use your intelligence, which is, if it is a good deed for the benefit of yourself and others, then you have to cultivate the perfection on panya. You have to use your knowledge to overcome the situation or to face that particular situation in a successful manner. You have to work with effort. There are many instances like these through the Jataka tales. We can read and understand the effort the Bodhisattva has made. If we consider about the current situation of the world, we have to act mindfully and with effort to face the problems that we face due to the current situation of the world. We have to make an effort to stay away from infecting the coronavirus. At the same time, we have to help those who are in need. We have to face our life challenges with an effort. Some people have lost their jobs. Some people have become helpless. Some people are not mentally sound because they are facing critical conditions. Sometimes they are staying at home. Some people are homesick because they cannot return to their homes. Whatever the situation that we face due to the current crisis of the world, we have to work with energy and face the situation in a successful manner. That is the nature of Buddhists who follow the perfections. As a Buddhist, if you give up things that cannot be accepted, until you achieve your targets, you have to make every possible effort for the success. I can illustrate many verses from Tipitaka regarding the perfection on effort or Viriya. Ajjeva kichang atapang kojanya maranang suve nahino sangarantena mahasenena machuna. I will elaborate the meaning of this verse and we will see how we can put the facts into practice. If there is something to do today, we have to do it. Who knows about the death happening tomorrow? There is no promise between the crowded Mara and us. Dear Dhamma friends, there are many among us who try to postpone our day-to-day activities. We lead uncertain lives. Therefore, we don't know whether we will be able to do those postponed work. The best thing to do is that we have to do the activities at the right time with the necessary effort. The fact of postponing work without effort is further explained in the verse Yo pubbe karaniyani paccaso katumichati sukaso dansate dhana pacca chanutappati. If someone likes to do the work that should be done first, at a later time, he deteriorates or declines from happiness. Later, he weeps. Dear Dhamma friends, it is very obvious that if we postpone our work, we will have to weep. We have to make every possible effort to do the work at the right time. These days, we have to be mindful and follow the advices of the health officials to get away from this COVID virus. If we don't keep the social distance, wash your hands, and wear masks, and do those kinds of activities at the right time, we will face problems. In the Tika Nipata of Anguttara Nikaya, Buddha explains occasions for us to make the persistent effort. The Buddha says, monks, on 3 occasions, persistent energy is to be exerted to prevent the arising of evil. We have to make an effort to prevent the arising of evil deeds. Unprofitable states not yet arisen to cause the arising of good. We need to create good deeds. Then the third one, profitable states not yet arisen to endure the bodily feeling that have feelings that have arisen, feelings which are painful, sharp, bitter, distressing and unwholesome, which drain the life away. If we can make an effort on those 3 occasions, we are strenuous, wise, and mindful. So we can make an end of suffering or dukkha. To conclude the Dhamma talk, I am going to illustrate one of the verses in Arnavati Sutta. Arabata Nikamata Yunjata Buddha Sasane Dunata Machuno Senang Nalagarangva Kunjuro. Here in this verse, there are some important advices for us. They are as commands. Arabata. Arabata means make effort. Nikkamata, dispel laziness. Yunjata Buddha Sasane, follow the ways of Buddhism. Dunata Machu no Senang Nalagaranva Kunjuro. In the same way that an elephant destroys the house made of bamboo, it is necessary for us to destroy the crowd of Mara, the killer. There are many views regarding the concept of Mara. Klesa Mara, Skanda Mara, Puggala Mara, and so on. Dear Dhamma friends, Arabata, whatever the good intention that you have to achieve it, make an effort. Then Nikkamata, dispel or remove your laziness. Give up your laziness. Make an effort. Then you have to work hard until you achieve your target. Dear Dhamma friends, you have to cultivate Sila, Samadhi and Panya with constant effort to overcome the suffering and get the deliverance. I hope the viewers of this online telecast understood what the perfection on Viriya is and the ways of putting it into practice. With all the activities, be mindful, with enthusiasm, make every possible effort to achieve your target. With this, I conclude my Dhamma talk on the perfection of energy or Viriya. May the Triple Gem bless all of you.
Thank you, Bhante, for the very excellent sharing today. Okay, here it seems that we have several questions posted for us online. Okay, we'll put it up for online for everyone to view it, Bhante.
Okay. There is a question. I just read the question. I think Buddhist teachers and Dhamma speakers are not enough. We can have more in this aspect to further and better promote the teaching of the Buddha. What is your opinion, Bhante? So this is a question that I should answer directly. As a lecturer of a university, we are also responsible for this current situation. Considering this factor, we train our student monks with the knowledge of English, and we train them to deliver Dhamma talks in English. I am happy to say each year we do a particular training in the orientation, nearly 1 month, and select 10 to 20 student monks who are capable of studying in English medium or English as a subject. From them, we select the students and give the necessary training. And I let them teach Dhamma in Sunday Dhamma schools to get the experience in explaining things and so on. To fill that gap, we have started the work, but I'm not telling you it is not sufficient. The need is greater. They have a lot of language barriers with English. With difficulty, we train them, and at least 10 to 20 student monks out of 380 or nearly 400 student monks, we train at least around 50 monks from the total to suit these situations. We will continue the work and we will try to fill the gap more and more. I think you got the answer. I accept the fact. I read the question, Bhante. Through my understanding, there are three levels of Viriya. Is it mandatory to practice the highest level of Viriya, that is Paramita, Paramita on Viriya, to be able to attain emancipation Nibbana? So that is the highest point that you have to engage or do. If you can make an effort to that level, you have a good training. But first start with simple effort. If you are a student, you get the success, you get the achievements through your education, through effort. Then you become successful. For achieving the aims or the targets of your job, you need to make an effort. In those activities also, sometimes you need to have the courage. Sometimes you have to consider you have to act without considering the parts of your body, sometimes even the life. There are challenges that we have to face in life in this manner. But for the achievement of enlightenment, or to attain the deliverance or nibbana, you have to have the persistent effort in that nature. Otherwise, we cannot end suffering. Like the stories that I revealed, one venerable ended his life having attained arahantship. We need to have the persistent effort with the purpose of attaining nibbana. To the extreme level, you need to have to develop it in the nature of Paramatta Parami. I think you got the answer. How to develop the energy in us to always avoid evil and do good. What you have to do is, you have to be mindful. Many of the Dhamma friends are capable of understanding what is right, what is wrong. Panya Parami. If you are mindful enough to understand what you are doing, whether it is right or wrong, then it is right. So what is the right activity? If the result of your activity is making good for you and for others' benefit, that is a good deed. You can do it. If the result of your action affects badly to yourself and others, that is a bad thing. You have to avoid it. No one can do it. Dear Dhamma friends, you can do it. Because when you do something, you can decide whether it is right or wrong, whether it is beneficial to you and others or not. By deciding the result of your action, being mindful, you have to decide this is good. If it is good, you can continue. If it is unbeneficial to you and others, don't do those kinds of things, because they cause a lot of harm. For that also, you need the perfection on energy. Mental strength is necessary. Mental effort is necessary for deciding good and bad, merits and demerits. If you have the mental strength, definitely you will cultivate good or the meritorious deeds. If you are intelligent enough to judge the results of your actions, then you will avoid demerits or evil. Okay. But may I know why Pacceka Buddha cannot teach? A Pacceka Buddha cannot teach because he has understood the teaching, or he has practiced things on his own. It may be the reason that he doesn't have the exposure of a Samma Sambuddha. Since he has not reached the state Samma Sambuddha. Samma Sambuddha means fully enlightened one. But a Pacceka Buddha doesn't have that capacity. How can he do the activities of a Samma Sambuddha? Since he doesn't have that capacity, he is a Pacceka Buddha. He has understood the nature of life and enlightened himself, but he is not capable of delivering the same to others because he doesn't have the exposure of a Samma Sambuddha or fully enlightened one. Since he is not capable of Samma Sambuddha, he doesn't have the capacity to explain the path in the manner of a Bodhisattva. Oh, sorry, in the manner of a Samma Sambuddha. That's the reason. Okay, thank you very much.
Bhante, that's all the questions we have for today. Okay, thanks for the excellent reply and answer from Bhante Piyarathana, and equally good question posted by our audiences. Okay, a kind reminder, the Dharma friends, our next Dharma sharing will be on next week, Friday, the 24th of July, 2020 at 8:30 p.m. by Bhante Y. Anu Wansha Thera from Sri Lanka with the topic Kanti Parami, the cultivation of patience. So, Dharma friends, do remember to join us again next week, Friday. So, before we conclude, we would like to invite Bhante Piyarathana Thera to share the merits accrued today with all the Devas and our departed loved ones. Bhante.
Okay, we will transfer Devas, dear Dhamma friends. Now we will transfer the merit that we accumulated by listening to the Dhamma talk on the perfection of energy to all the Devas. May all the Devas inherit this merit and invoke their blessings for all the listeners of this Dhamma talk, sponsors, and people in general to improve the quality of energy and effort for the success of the lives of all and be free from COVID-19 virus. May all the Devas attain Nibbana with the power of this merit. Akasattha ca bhummatta deva naga mahiddhika punyang tang anumoditva cirang rakkantu loka sasanang cirang rakkantu dhamma desanang cirang rakkantu mang paranti. Dear Dhamma friends, now we will transfer the merit that we accumulated by listening to the Dhamma talk on the perfection on energy to the departed relatives of the sponsors and all the listeners. May all the departed relatives of the sponsors, listeners, and those who died due to the coronavirus inherit this merit and invoke their blessings for all the sponsors and listeners of this Dhamma talk and the people in general to improve the quality of energy or effort for the success of the lives of all. And may the blessings of the departed relatives also be helpful for all to be free from COVID-19 virus. May all the departed relatives attain Nibbana with the power of this merit. Idang me ñātinang hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang me ñātinang hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang me ñātinang hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Now I will transfer the merits to all of you. Dear Dhamma friends, I transfer the merit that we accumulated by listening, by transferring merits and listening to the Dhamma talk on the perfect unknown energy to you, all the online listeners and all the beings. May all of you, online listeners, sponsors, organizers, and people in general inherit this merit and improve the quality of energy or effort for the success of the lives of all. May all of you be free from COVID-19 virus. May all who work in the health sector and the government officials get the necessary energy to save the lives of corona victims. May all beings be well and happy. May the Triple Gem bless all of you.
Thank you, Bhante. Now we have come to the end of our Dhamma sharing. On behalf of Buddhist Mahavihara, we would like to take this opportunity to extend our highest thanks to Bhante and Piyarathana Thera, also to our generous sponsor, and to all our audiences today. May all beings be well, peaceful, and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.